Yo, guys, so I've just finished RE9, and I must say it is my favorite game in the series. I love this game from start to finish. So here are my top 5 reasons as to why you should buy RE9. Starting off with, they've got all of the good puzzles like you used to have in RE1 and RE2, where they give you a bit of a hint, but they don't give you too much where you're just flying through the game really easily. Personally, this is my favorite part of the game, where I'm trying to work out puzzles, but I don't want to be handed the answers. So this game is really good at giving you the puzzles, but not telling you exactly what you do. And there are multiple other puzzles within the game as well that are very hidden and side quest objectives. Secondly, when you play as Leon, you have the whole RE4 experience. Leon's part of the game, you it's less horror like and more action filled, which a lot of people really enjoyed RE4 for the action and the story. And this game takes that and delivers that also. And then when you're playing as Grace, you get the first person Ethan Winters horror style from RE7 and RE9, which is perfect. It's overly horrified. You in the dark, you feel helpless, but you also feel like once you get a certain point, you can defend yourself. My second reason as to why you should get this game is because of how visually pleasing and beautiful this game looks. Yeah, that's to be expected. Games are getting better, graphics are getting better in general, but a lot of games these days just don't deliver on that. But this game, I wasn't playing on the highest settings because I wanted to stream the game as well. But this game still looked absolutely beautiful. There was no frame stutters. The game was like visually amazing from start to end. The cutscenes looked amazing, and even the gameplay in general. I cannot put into words how good this game looked all the way through all the different areas. This game was designed perfectly well. Thirdly, is the story. We played the RE games before, and yes, they all have good, catchy stories that get you hooked on what's happening, what you're anticipating, makes you guessing. This game does that and takes it to the extreme. The story in this game was very well designed. You're wondering why you're here. Why is Grace the this main character, and why is she the one being targeted? Why is Leon getting involved? All of it comes together and it's so well thought out. And then the ending is just a really good conclusion to what this game gives you. I'm not going to go into details or into spoilers of what happens at the end, but I will say I'm excited for what things are to come, or maybe not to come. That's for you guys to find out once you play the game yourself. Moving on to my fourth point, it's how well they reused assets from previous games. A lot of games that I've played that reuse assets are done in a much lazy way. And I personally don't enjoy when games do this. But when it comes to RE9, you go back to familiar places where it feels like you know what you want to do here, but you also have these little twists in designs where you're like, okay, maybe it's not exactly how I thought it was going to be. But the part that makes this game so interesting with how they reuse the assets is how well they fit into the game. They take that reuse assets from like the crafting system of RE4 when you're playing as Leon, and you know Leon is a badass, right? So he gets more inventory space, he gets the strongest stuff. And then Grace is obviously more like Ethan, so she gets the smaller backpack, she gets the more less effective tools, and she gets his crafting system. This game just takes all of the old assets, whether it's the visual assets or the old assets that were in the game, but they don't make it disappointing. They keep giving it to you in a way that you want to have them done. And for that reason, that's why RE9 is one of the most impressive RE games I've played. Couldn't deliver these assets any better than the way we've all enjoyed them and all loved. Lastly, would be the enemies that you face in the game. There are some familiar faces, and there are a lot of new enemies. Each of them are perfect in their own way to how they are delivered in that part of the story. There are ones where you have to be more stealthy and in the dark, and there are ones that are just you have to brute force run away from, or you can take on at some point. But the way that the game delivers the old enemy and these new enemies are just, yeah. The zombies in this game, it feels like they have a nice balance of the horror aspect and the action aspect. Which, if you're gonna have a game that has both the Leon style of fighting and the Grace style of the horror, you're gonna have to have multiple enemies that fit those kind of themes within the game. And yeah, they do it in a good way where the ones that feel more like horror are in Grace's side, and the ones that feel like they are stronger, angrier, more tough, do more damage are on Leon's side. So I'm really happy with how they designed the game and where they place the enemies and the reuse of some familiar enemies that we've had before. I feel like they done it well. So yeah, that concludes my thoughts on RE9. I honestly think that it is the best RE game of all time for all of these reasons. There are many more, but I'm gonna replay it and I'm gonna achievement hunt and do more things on stream. So if you guys want to see more gameplay and more content, you guys can come over to the Twitch and watch. But yeah, that's my initial thought process. I almost 100%ed the game on my first playthrough. I only missed two collectibles, and it was a perfect length of game, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed what I did. So yeah, if you guys want to try the game out, I would 100% recommend it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace out.